You ready?
No, I'm nervous.
Oh, you're gonna be good, Mom. Let me just get our heads in focus.
Okay, I'm gonna try to. Okay.
Video hasn't even started, Mom.
Oh my gosh.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Ray here, and I have a very special guest. I have my mom.
Hello, world.
So yes, I put a poll on Instagram asking like what video you guys wanted to see, another video or the one with my mom, and by far, literally like thousands of people have voted that they wanted to see you on my channel, Mom.
Wow, what a compliment.
I know, right? So my mom, you would say you're more of like a crafter
Yes.
than an artist, right?
Correct. Yes.
What kind of like art supplies do you like? What kind of stuff do you have back there?
Oh, I have markers, I have crayons, I have tacky glue, I have hot glue guns, I have acrylic paints, brushes, watercolor,
What?
calligraphy, pens and inks. And,
You never showed me any of this.
Well, we're too busy with you.
She never shows me any of this. She's like, I have like literally all this stuff. I thought you were gonna be like, I have crayons and a pencil. Like, literally, you're like naming all the hobby.
Yeah, silk flowers and wreaths and
Yeah, my mom has made me quite a few things in the past, which I'll post up a few pictures of her like little crafts that she's made me. She's quite the talented crafter, I'd say. Look at that. Look at that. It's been quite a thing like in the makeup community where they'll go to like their mom's house and then they'll use their mom's makeup, whatever they have, to like make their full face. Today I'm gonna do that same thing, except instead of makeup, I'm going to be using all of your art supplies.
Oh, well, okay then. That sounds good.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that a tornado siren?
Yes. They're testing them.
Are you sure?
Yeah. They test them.
At lunchtime?
They're random. We don't have tornadoes. We just had one still.
We just had a tornado.
Yeah. No, we don't have the weather for it. We've had warnings on our phones and everything.
I'll be right back. So anyway, Mom, what do you think about that idea?
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I never thought you'd use anything that I have because, you know, mine's just simple.
Would you say like all of your stuff's like a lower grade, like a student grade? Like, do you think any of it's like professional at all? Like the grade, like how?
You know, I go for cheap stuff.
Yeah, I do too. Same. That's where I get it from.
Yeah, I buy a lot of clearance stuff. You know,
Yeah, I do too.
Dollar store.
Like, yeah, same. I do too.
yeah, Walmart, you know.
So basically, my mom has this room. My mom is very, very, very like, she is like tip top tidy. Let me tell you, this woman, I'm not kidding you. I'd wake up on Saturday mornings with like the vacuum hitting my door, brr, 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 like, like every Saturday morning with this woman. But she has this one room in her craft room. You know, like most artists, you know, we have our own space where we create. And her back room has not only my stuff from college, my brother's stuff in college, it has her craft stuff. And it's like, how would you describe that room?
A catch-all room that nobody ever supposed to see.
My mom has this rule about that room where like nobody is ever supposed to go back there because you know there's like all kinds of storage stuff back there, and so like anytime we have company or anything like that, she's like, don't bring anybody over. And today I'm gonna show millions of people.
Great.
So anyway, guys, I guess we're gonna go back there. We're gonna like rummage through the stuff that you have. I'm gonna pick out a few art supplies that you know I'm gonna want to use, and I guess we'll make some art out of that. Huh? How does that sound?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, dun, 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 dun. You ready for the internet to see the room, Mom?
Oh gosh.
So basically, I'm only going to show a section, but basically this is the area, and it's complete, in my opinion, this is organized beyond belief. But basically, this is where you keep all of your craft supplies, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so, Mom,
Yes.
I'm ready to start digging in.
Okay.
So what's up here?
Basically, that's where my jars and my markers, pens, pencils.
So do you have any that's the first thing I'm going to need is pencils. So all the pencils are located up here?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the pencils and pens. Is this mine? I feel like this
is yours.
This is mine.
That is yours.
This is gonna be the first thing I need is a pencil. I'm always gonna need a pencil. So add that to the bucket. Okay.
And then here are my glitters.
Glitters.
All glitters, spray glitters. These are all acrylic paints. These are all my glues, glue guns, Mod Podge, etc. That's probably full of nothing but paint brushes.
Oh my god.
Foam brushes, paint brushes, just
Oh
random.
my god. You have more brushes than me.
Yeah.
This is so beautiful, Mom.
Yeah.
But God, I can't believe how many paintbrushes you have. I'm like shook right now.
Yeah.
Wow, Mom. Stuff down here, is there anything worth
Probably there's just paper. All my papers are there.
Papers?
And well, that's calligraphy and embroidery ink. And my tools.
Okay, and now this brings us to the second section of everything. What all do we have? I see there's art supplies here. What all is here?
Okay, there's a Crayola markers, colored pencils.
Look how many colored pencils she has. You have so many colored pencils. I love it. Good for you.
I think those are tempera paints.
Oh, these are like little acrylics. Okay,
okay.
Wonderful.
I couldn't remember what they were. And then there's the crayons.
Hold on. Guys, I thought you had a lot of colored pencils. Look at the amount of crayons this woman has.
Grown woman, huh?
Oh, these crayons, they've been through it. That's all I'm gonna say. Look at that. So now that my mom has kindly given me the grand tour of everything, I'm going to go ahead and pick out some stuff in private, and I will reveal it to you guys when I get back. Mom, you want to come stick a hand?
Bye!
Bye. I will see you guys back at my workstation back home. Hello everybody, so I am back at my humble abode. Or is it a mode? I think a mode's a toilet. Anyway, I'm back. And it was so nice to be able to see my mom. You know, we don't live in the same city, so it was nice to go see my mom. Now, on with the first thing that really honestly truly caught my eye, which I was surprised that my mom had, and that's poster board. Now, I'm sure all the old school people who've been on my channel for a while, you guys know I love poster board. Poster board makes like a really awesome paper if you know how to use it. And basically how you learn to use it is you get a sanding sponge as so, and basically you just scrub off that top layer of shininess. So in addition to my poster board, of course, like the most essential thing when it comes to, you know, doing artwork is that I'm gonna need a pencil. So my mom didn't really have too many pencils, but she did have this mechanical pencil, which I believe at one point was mine. But I mean, technically it's hers because it was at her house, so I'm just gonna count it as hers even though it was once mine. And these two things will be the essential tools that I need to start my drawing. Hello, hello, hello. It is I, VoiceOver Ray here. Now, I'm switching over to VoiceOver because with the real footage, I was not talking at all.
Ended up recording her first record called Selena y Los Dinos, and she actually really wanted to do English-speaking songs.
And just in general, like when I'm drawing, and my mom who is watching this right now, she knows when I'm drawing, I am in the zone, honey. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that too, because I feel like everybody has something in their life that they do where they just put on their podcast, put on their music, and they just get lost with whatever they're doing. And it's a very therapeutic, calming, like, you know, kind of self-me kind of time. Now, I'm drawing an octopus, I cannot say that word. I am drawing an octopus, which is something I've been wanting to draw forever. Like, I have a list of ideas, and an octopus has been on top of my list for quite a while. Alright, so here's the finished little sketch that I'm going to be working on. Now, this brings us to the next part of the situation where I'm going to be working with these 10-piece value brushes that my mom got on clearance for like $1. Now, the reason why I picked these brushes is obviously my mom, you know, she doesn't have a watercolor brush. And that's fine, you know, because all these little brushes right here, I could use them for like little tiny details. Which honestly, that's how I usually work with watercolor because, you know, I usually do like realism. And I think my mom even uses these for like her little details in her crafts and stuff like that. So it's really awesome and convenient that she had these. Mom, if you're watching this, I will try my best to take care of these. Now to go along with the brushes, I'm gonna need some kind of paint, of course. So the paint that I thought was really, really cool that my mom has, like it's so cool that my mom has this. She has acrylic ink. Do you see that? How pretty is that? And you shake it up, and you get this really beautiful like ink that's, oh, it's so cool. Now I have never worked with acrylic ink, so I'm kind of curious to see how that's gonna work. So I'm gonna put in some drops right here, just kind of fill it up with the yellow, red, blue, green. We'll definitely try to get some swatches of like what we are working with. Oh crap. Oh god, okay, it hasn't even been like 0.2 seconds and I already spilled it. Good job, Ray, good job. Now, like I said, I am a super noob when it comes to acrylic ink. I've never worked with it before, but I'm assuming it's exactly what it sounds like. It's ink that's acrylic. So let's see how pigmented she is. Or isn't. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I was not ready for that. Wow, that is beautiful. One of my favorite colors is blue. So let's try out the blue and see how it's working. Oh, wow. Look at that swatch. Ooh, that is beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Now for the green, we're gonna try something different. Instead of just swatching it, I'm gonna try to see if I can get it from like really opaque to really light. Like, you know, like something you can do with watercolor. So lay down a layer as so. All right, let's see how he does. So right off the bat, we're having trouble soaking into the paper because like I said, this is poster board paper. So basically the paper is not absorbing the paint, but it's just kind of like it's just kind of floating on top of it. So I'm getting some much more like simpler cartoony illustration vibes. So I think that's what I'm gonna be drawing today, is like some illustration style stuff. Now it was pretty much immediately that I completely 100% realized that I underestimated this paint a lot. When this paint says acrylic ink, it literally means acrylic ink. Now, I had to work very fast with this because it was drying in like 0.2 seconds. Just to give you an idea of how fast it was drying, even in the pan, like the watercolor pan, you see all those swirls right there? That's because it was drying and like separating. So I had to work very, very, very fast. But I think one of the coolest things, the most unique thing about one of these paints is that they kind of melt into each other. Like for example, if you were to Google acrylic paint, you get a lot of like abstract work. And I think it's because this paint gives such an awesome, cool, like melted texture that it's perfect for like abstract. So once I started working with the octopus, it just started like all melting together, and the artwork just kind of took on a mind of its own, which, you know, for me, somebody who likes to work really tight and really like in control of it, it was a new experience. And it was good that I had that experience because it like forced me to open up. And as you guys know, I have a lot of trouble letting loose with my artwork. So I was very impressed with this texture. Mom, shout out to you, Mom. Okay, so it's been a little bit and I let it dry, and there is a little bit of seeping here and there, but honestly, when you get an up-close look of that texture, I am obsessed with. Look how beautiful it all blended together on the octopus, the yellow and the red. That is just absolutely gorgeous and insane. But you know, of course there was like some seepage, which I wasn't too happy about, so I'm gonna try to clean it up with my mom's calligraphy pens. Yes, I saw those and I was like, oh, Mom, you have some fine liners. So basically they're not fine liners because they're slanted, so I have to be very careful with them. But I think it'll be a nice addition to, like, you know, just clean it up a little bit. Those of you who are new to my channel, I do this thing whenever I fine line every single time. Like, I get so close to the board that like my head gets in the way, and so like I have like literally just 10-minute footage of my head in the way. And now this brings us to the last step, which, I mean, I could have stopped here, you know, but I want to add a little bit more complexity than what I did. My mom did have these acrylic paints, but I feel like it would just be kind of redundant to add acrylic on top of acrylic. So instead of that, I am going to be doing something a little bit crazy today. Angle 2, hello. I'm not going to show my face because I got mad acne, but hey, what's up? Okay, so it's, oh, I just messed up. I just messed up like really bad. Oh my god.
Yeah, so as you can tell, I decided last minute to add in a bunch of little drips here, a bunch of little drips there, because I feel like just a plain Jane illustration, you know, it was good, but I want to add a little extra oomph to it, something that's a little bit more interesting, you know? And you know me, anytime I'm around any kind of watercolor or any kind of ink, I have to add in some drips because that's just me.
And here is the final drawing, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. Now, personally, I probably wouldn't use the acrylic ink again, but because this was made with my mom's stuff, it's extra special to me. So anyway, guys, my mom actually recently retired this past week. So if everybody could give a huge shout out to her and a congratulations, because she worked so hard all those years, that would be awesome. If you guys want to see more of my artwork, you guys can see it on Instagram. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you next video. Bye.